Daniel Su, a U.S. citizen, fought for 4 years to escape ChinaThe Seattle resident was barred from leaving despite having committed no crime, a pawn in a geopolitical game between two giant superpowers. Then earlier this month, just 4 days before a virtual meeting between President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping, Su was told to prepare to go home. He had less than 48 hours. It was a total rush, he told the Associated Press in a telephone interview from his home in Seattle.As as he raced to visit his grandmother, pack his things and travel to Guangzhou. Su knew nothing of the horse trading going on between China and the US in the build-up to the 3-plus-hour video meeting between Biden and Xi on November 15. Both countries appeared to be trying to dial back tensions in their increasingly fractious relationship, and Su would become a bargaining chip. He could return to Seattle, and 7 Chinese nationals who were convicted of crimes in the U.S. would be sent back to China. China's ability to make deals by effectively taking people like Su hostage has raised concerns that Beijing may feel emboldened to double down on the practice, which has angered not only the U.S. but also Canada, Australia and a number of European countries who say their citizens have also faced arbitrary detention in China.
There's no deterrent imposed on Beijing to doing it again, said Sophie Richardson, China director at Human Rights Watch. The problem is if you took the truly principled road, a lot of people would still be sitting in arbitrary detention in China. The PRC should never have subjected US citizens to coercive exit bans. The PRC had been failing to meet its international obligations to take back their nationals who have been ordered removed, the official said, using the acronym for the People's Republic of China. There are additional Americans subject to exit bans and arbitrary detentions in the PRC, and we will continue to work to secure their release. In Beijing, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said he wasn't clear on the details of HSU's case, but that China handled such matters according to established rules. I would like to emphasize that all are equal under the law and the relevant Chinese organs handle such matters in accordance with the law and regulations, Zhao said at a daily briefing on Wednesday. In the carrying out of such duties, there is no tolerance for interference, slander or distortion. 5 surveillance cameras recorded his movements, and 2 guards kept constant, silent watch. They followed HSU to the shower and stood beside him at the toilet. Lights blazed through the night. If he rolled over on his mattress, guards woke him and made him turn his face toward a surveillance camera that recorded him as he slept. When he was released from the so-called education center, he was subject to an exit ban and barred from leaving China. Under Chinese law, authorities have broad discretion to block both Chinese citizens and foreign nationals from leaving the country. The US, Canada, Australia and the UK have issued advisories warning their citizens they can be prevented from leaving China arbitrarily, even over disputes they may not be directly involved in. HSU's is not the first case of hostage diplomacy involving China. In September, an agreement was reached to allow Meng Wanzhou, a senior executive at Chinese technology giant Huawei, to return home from Canada after a 3-year diplomatic standoff. Meng had faced a U.S. extradition request on charges of fraud for allegedly misrepresenting the company's business dealings with Iran. Within hours of Meng's release, Beijing freed 2 Canadians who had been detained in China on national security charges shortly after Meng's arrest in Canada. China's foreign ministry said at the time the Canadians were released for health reasons and downplayed any connection with Meng's case. Canada has long maintained that the men are innocent. HSU's luck didn't change until the weeks leading up to the November video conference. HSU said he got a call from the US Embassy in Beijing 4 days before 11 and Biden spoke, on the afternoon of Thursday, November 11th. He was instructed to get to Guangzhou, a southern Chinese megacity about 900 miles from his apartment in Shanghai, in time for a charter flight home early that Sunday morning. He went to see his 103-year-old grandmother, who lives in Shanghai. She cried when he told her he was leaving. I could tell she was wondering if she'd see me again, he said. HSU had never told her about his exit ban because he worried for her health. He never told her about his 6 months in solitary confinement. or the fact that his wife, also innocent of any crime, had also been blocked from leaving China until last year, for reasons that were never clear to them. As a consequence, their teenage daughter was effectively orphaned for nearly 3 years, living on her own in their big, empty house in Seattle. Sunday morning, November 14th, dawned in Guangzhou with a rare and glorious blue sky, and the sunshine seemed to match HSU's mood. At the airport, he walked across the tarmac toward a waiting Gulfstream 5 jet, the plane that would finally carry him home. HSU said he saw 7 people disembark, though he didn't know who they were. Xi had fled China in 2001 after being accused of embezzling hundreds of millions of dollars. China's Central Commission for Discipline Inspection put out a statement trumpeting Xi's return to the motherland as a major achievement in China's global anti-corruption fight, which has intensified under Xi Jinping. A federal court in Las Vegas sentenced the former Bank of China manager on conspiracy charges in 2009 and ordered him and his co-conspirators to pay $482 million in restitution. He spent nearly 13 years in U.S. prison, according to the Department of Homeland Security. 2 of the other attorneys, Zhang Yujing and Lu Jing, tried to enter Mar-a-Lago in 2019. Zhang was sentenced to 8 months for trespassing and lying to federal agents, while Lu was sentenced to 59 days for resisting arrest, according to DHS. 2 others, Wang Yuhao and Zhang Jilin, were convicted of illegally photographing a naval air station in Key West, FLA. In 2020, the final pair, Sun Yong and Tang Junliang, had been convicted of financial crimes in Utah, according to DHS and Justice Department records. And then it was HSU's turn. He walked up 10 boarding stairs onto the plane. He had a single suitcase and 1 carry-on. I felt like I was already on US soil. That was really a relief, HSU said. I took a deep breath when I sat down in my chair.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.